The information you've just heard has been added to the KATT concert line. To receive further information, you can call the KATT concert keeper at 840-5160. That's 840-5160. And stay tuned to Rock 100.5 the KATT for updated information on the bombing of the Alfred P. Murrah building downtown Oklahoma City.
Okay, some more good information there as we all pull together and try and get through what is just this absolutely horrible disaster that came from nowhere, and we're all just coping with it any way that we can. The outpouring of support from all of the citizens of Oklahoma City has been incredible, and that outpouring has extended far. You heard Rick and Brad talk this morning. They were on the BBC, and in London they were asking the same thing. What can we do to help? What can we do to offer our assistance to the people of Oklahoma City? And we are just hearing that from all over the country and all over the world, and we appreciate that very much. And it's even extended into to all regions of the world that we've been hearing this kind of feedback, and we thank you very much for that. I believe on the telephone now we have joining us is First Lady Mrs. Hillary Clinton. Mrs. Clinton, are you with us yet?
Yes, I am, Cameron.
Well, thank you so much for taking time to talk to us. Are you in Washington today?
I'm in the White House, and I am grateful for this chance to talk with you and to thank you and your colleagues for the superb job that you all have done in not only providing information but real assistance to people, helping family members find each other, helping people deliver the kinds of resources that were needed. We are very impressed and grateful for what you all have done.
Well, thank you for your kind words. This isn't the sort of thing that we're used to dealing with, and everyone is just getting through it the best that they can. You have quite an extensive background in dealing with family and children issues, and there's just a whole array of them that have been raised with this disaster. The latest toll that we had, and we understand this is an underestimation, that 12 children were killed in a daycare center on the second floor, and I'm sure that's the same kind of information that you're receiving. What kind of words can you offer the families that are affected by this?
Well, you know, Cameron, I think that it's important to start first with those families directly affected. The children who were killed in this terrible, evil act and the children who were injured deserve all of the help that we can give both them and their families. I'm particularly concerned that we provide counseling for whatever period of time is necessary so that those families directly impacted will be given the support and resources they need to try to get their lives back in some orderly fashion. And it's going to take time. You know, often in the midst of a disaster, the first efforts are very important, but it is equally important to know that just as the building will have to be rebuilt, lives will have to be rebuilt as well. But in addition to the children and families directly affected, there are millions and millions of others throughout Oklahoma and the rest of this country, and as you just pointed out, even reaching overseas. Because of television, children who are very young are watching what is happening.
Right.
And we need to take some special attention for all of our children, to reassure them, to support them, for the adults in a family to make it clear to our children that this was an evil, terrible act, that the people who did it will be caught and they will be punished, that these things unfortunately do happen, but it is unlikely ever to happen to them. They need that balanced understanding, that not to sugarcoat anything. When a child is seeing the terrible scenes of other children being taken from the daycare center that was bombed, they need to be told that yes, it does happen, but unfortunately it does not happen to many children, and we will protect you. And I think parents have got to, in the next weeks, understand the impact that this has had on children and be very sensitive to their feelings and try to give them that extra sense of security that they will need.
Those are very, very kind words, and we appreciate them, Mrs. Clinton. I believe, if with your permission, we have some citizens of Oklahoma City on the telephone, and we'd like to take just a couple of phone calls and see what that is. Okay. Is the caller there?
Okay, caller 3 is Tammy Kim.
Okay, Tammy, you're on the phone with Mrs. Clinton. Please keep your question brief.
Hi, Mrs. Clinton.
Yes.
I just wanted to tell you that we really appreciate everything that the president has been doing for us. There was a comment made that if Reagan was in office, more would be done, but I just want people to know that that does not matter, that President Clinton is supporting us, and that we are so happy and so grateful that he's doing that.
Thank you, and I can assure you that the president is absolutely committed to doing everything that can possibly be done, not only in helping there to give you the resources in your community to recover and provide counseling and help to everyone, but also to make it absolutely clear that every single resource necessary to find who did this and to provide the punishment they so have earned and deserve will be done. And so I can assure you that this president, is a neighbor from Arkansas and has a lot of friends in Oklahoma and has taken this very personally and will do everything possible to help and to find who did it.
Thank you very much.
Just, no matter where this kind of tragedy would take place, it would be completely devastating. But you from Arkansas, us here, we just don't expect these sort of things to happen in the heartland of America.
Well, that's right, Cameron, and they shouldn't. They shouldn't happen anywhere. They shouldn't happen anywhere in the world. They are the acts of, criminals and mad people who live beyond the bounds of human decency. And we have to do everything possible to take whatever precautions are necessary, but we also have to get on with our lives. I mean, it's a terrible tragedy, and we have to be able to learn whatever lessons are necessary so that we can protect ourselves. But we cannot let these people get any satisfaction that they have in any way disrupted life in Oklahoma or America for any length of time. It's very important that we demonstrate the kind of commitment and fortitude that I know people in Oklahoma and really Americans everywhere are so well known for. We will find out who did this. We will take proper precautions, but they are not going to get the United States down. We are not in any way going to change the kind of country we are and what we believe in because of this sort of evil cowardice.
Along that same line, we are just now getting information that at least one or two of the primary suspects in this case are one is arrested and one is very, very close to being arrested. And I won't elaborate on that other than to make the point that that possibly it looks like that the next step in getting through all of this is underway right now. One more phone call is all we have time for. Quickly, please. Who is the caller? Is the caller there, please?
Caller is Jill, line 1.
Jill, are you with us there? Okay.
Hello?
Yeah, Jill, quick question for the First Lady.
Yes, I was just wondering if y'all are concerned that this may happen again.
The question was, Mrs. Clinton, is there concern that this type of thing could happen again? And I'll add one more step to that. What kind of things are being put together to try and see that it does not happen again?
Well, Cameron, it is certainly the goal of the president and everyone who works with him to do everything that is possibly within our reach and understanding to prevent this from ever happening again. But of course, that is a very difficult thing to accomplish because people like the ones who did this bombing are able to think of new ways to try to hurt people and to make their evil actions known to others. So we have to do all we can, but we have to recognize that there is probably no foolproof thing that can be done that will prevent some madman somewhere in the world from doing something like this. But I think we can take more precautions. We can be more supportive and understanding about the kind of personal changes we might have to undertake to be more secure. But I think it's important that Americans recognize that other countries where, unfortunately, this kind of behavior is more common have been able to make some changes that have been effective. And I would just add one other point, and that is as we are hoping to apprehend the people responsible. We have to be aware that the kind of people who would do something like this are really beyond the bounds of human decency. And sometimes they do or say things that can give some evidence of what their behavior might be. And so citizens who are willing to get involved, who pay attention to, what that guy down the street might be doing that looks suspicious, who hear or see something that they think should be reported, I hope now they will do so. We've gone through a period where I think people have withdrawn from sort of checking on their neighbors and watching what went on. I hope we can get back to the way it was when I was growing up, and we had neighbors looking out for each other. We had, people inquiring about anything that looked a little bit suspicious or odd. We really need to act like a family again, and if we get more in America like a family again, the way that I remember when I grew up, that in the end is probably our best protection, that we keep watch out for each other. And if we do that, I think we'll have a good chance, at least, of trying to avoid this sort of thing.
Well, Mrs. Clinton, we have talked to hundreds and hundreds of people the last couple of days since this tragedy first took place Wednesday morning. And the general atmosphere, the general mood in Oklahoma City is one of shock and terror, and people are scared, and they're not sure what's going to happen next. And the comforting, kind words that you've offered us this afternoon are certainly reassuring. And you will be here on Sunday, I understand, to attend the Billy Graham prayer service.
Yes, I will. The President and I and some of the members of the Cabinet, particularly those responsible for the agencies that were in the building, we will be there, and we'll do all that we can to continue to be supportive to each of you.
Well, we thank you once again. We will welcome you to Oklahoma City on Sunday, and all that you're doing, and the fact that you would take time to call us today to offer us some words of assurance. We're very, very grateful, and thank you once again.
Thank you, Cameron.
Thank you.
God bless you.